Pitch is low, and it's 2 balls and no strikes from Gray. So 2 balls and no strikes from Gray. Catches the outside corner for a strike. It's 2-1. 2-1 from Gray. And hit by pitch. And St. Thomas More will have their leadoff runner on base once again.
Coming to the plate, shortstop, number 2, Braden Ward.
Nobody out, runner at first for the Cougars. Ground ball towards Fontenot to Ellers at second. And he'll be out at second as Ellers dropped the ball, transferring it to throw. So the force out at second on the fielder's choice, and there'll be 1 out in the inning.
Now batting first baseman, number 20, Alex Deja.
So 1 down runner at first for the Cougars. Fly ball towards center field. Gonzalez going over. And Gonzalez calls off Nolan and makes the grab for out number 2.
Now batting second baseman, number 15, Jake Lampkin.
So 2 down runner at first. And the first pitch is fouled off. It's no balls and 1 strike. Pitch misses outside, and it's 1-1. A ball and a strike with 2 down. And the off-speed pitch from Gray is in for a strike, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2 pitch is upstairs, and it's 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at first for the Cougars. And strike 3 called to end the inning. So after 4 complete, we'll go to the 5th. St. Louis leads it 3-0 on the St. Louis Catholic Sports Network. Go to the top of the fifth, and the Saints have a 3-0 lead over St. Thomas More. And Gonzalez is hit by the first pitch, and we'll head down to first base. So nobody out, runner at first. That'll bring up Mark Johnston. First pitch to Johnson, misses low and inside. It's 1 ball, no strikes. The 1-0 to Johnson. And Johnson rips it down the left side. Almost hits Coach Collins in the coach's box. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 to Johnston. Johnson holds up on the breaking ball. It misses low. It's 2-1. I'm sorry, 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 to Johnston. Here's the pitch. And runner takes off, and Gonzalez will steal second easily. Ball goes out in the center field, and he heads to third base. Here comes the throw. And he's in at third base. So Gonzalez steals second and then heads to third on the throw. The pitch was a ball, so it's 3 balls and 2 strikes to Johnston. Gonzalez had second, stolen easily on the left-handed pitcher. And when the ball got out to the outfield, he took off for third and slid in safe at third. So nobody out. Gonzalez at third. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Johnston. Here's the pitch, and Johnston fouls it down the third base side once again. Three-two to Johnson. Here's the pitch. And Johnson drives it back up the middle. Second baseman can't get to it. Gonzalez will score, and the Saints have a 4-0 lead here in the top of the 5th inning. Just off the handle, and it got right up over the pitcher. Second baseman couldn't come up with it. And that'll bring up David Nolan with nobody out, and Johnston at first. Nolan swings at the first pitch and drives it to center field. Center fielder playing shallow and makes the diving catch to rob Nolan of a base hit. And there's 1 out in the inning. Well hit ball by Nolan. And center fielder playing a bit shallow was able to make the grab on the dive. So 1 out runner at first, and that'll bring up Logan Gray. Throw to first is not in time. And they throw to first again. One out with Johnston at first. And Logan Gray at the plate. And they throw to first again. We're in the top of the 5th. Saints have a 4-0 lead over St. Thomas More. And the pitch misses outside. It's 1 ball, no strikes to Gray. Gray swings and fouls it off down the right side. It's 1-1. One ball, one strike, and one out. Mark Johnson at first base. And they throw to first once again. Here's the pitch. Ground ball towards second base. Has no play at second, goes to first for the out. Johnson was on the move on the hit and run. The second baseman had no play at second. Has to go to first. It's 2 down in the inning.
Second baseman number 27, Charles Ellers.
And that'll bring up the second baseman, Charles Ellers. Ellers had a hit with an RBI last time up. Ellers grounds it towards the third baseman. Third baseman has it. Throw to first. Will be in time for out number 3. St. Strand a runner, but pick up a run. And we'll head to the bottom of the 5th. It's 4-0 St. Louis on the St. Louis Catholic Sports Network.
Leading off for the Cougars in the bottom of the 5th. Right fielder, number 7, Stephen Moody.
So we go to the bottom of the 5th. Saints lead at 4-0. And the first pitch from Logan Gray is in for a strike. It's no balls and a strike. Pitch is low and outside, and it's 1-1. One ball, one strike. And the breaking ball's in for a strike. It's 1-2. One ball, two strikes from Gray. And the pitch is outside. It's 2-2. Here's the 2-2 from Gray. And it's fouled off. It'll stay 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two pitch. Misses inside. It's full count. Here's the 3-2 pitch. And strike 3 called on the low outside corner. 8th strikeout of the game for Gray. And it's 1 out in the inning.
Eller's left fielder, number 21, Rhett Yacone.
Bunted down the third base line. It'll trickle foul, and Gaskin will grab it in foul territory. No balls and 1 strike. One out, nobody on. Here's the 0-1. Fly ball to center field. Gonzalez takes 1 step over and makes the grab for out number 2.
Coming to bat, catcher, number 11, Brandon Longley.
2 outs, nobody on. And the first pitch is swung on and missed. It's no balls and 1 strike from Logan Gray. Here's the 0-1. And it's fouled off down the right side. It's no balls and 2 strikes. No 0-2 pitch from Gray. And it's a line drive towards Ehlers. Ehlers snags it on the bounce and over to first for out number 3. So 3 up, 3 down for St. Thomas More in the bottom of the 5th. We'll go to the 6th inning. Saints have 4 runs on 8 hits and all zeros on the board for St. Thomas More on the St. Louis Catholic Sports Network.
Third baseman, number 1, Carson Mixon.
Carson Mixon will lead it off for St. Louis, and new pitcher in the game for St. Thomas More. First pitch misses low. It's 1 ball and no strikes. And the 1-0 misses low again. It's 2 balls and no strikes to Mixon. Here's the 2-0 and foul down the left side. Nice grab by Coach Collins. Fires it back to the pitcher. It's 2-1 to Mixon. And Mixon fouls it back, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes to Carson Mixon. And strike 3 called as Mixon strikes out to lead off the inning.
Now batting pitcher, number 13, Clay Gaskin.
1 out, that'll bring up Clay Gaskin. First pitch misses outside, it's 1 ball, no strikes. Outside, and it's 2-0 to Gaskin. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and Gaskin slices it foul down the right side. It's 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. And back to the pitcher off the handle and over to first in time for out number 2.
Now batting shortstop, number 8, Cameron Fontenot.
2 outs, back to the top of the order, and Cameron Fontenot. First pitch misses outside. It's 1-0 to Cameron Fontenot. Inside corner is called a strike, and it's 1-1. Breaking ball is in the dirt. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Saints batting in the top of the 6th, lead it 4-0. Nobody on and 2 outs for Cameron Fontenot. And a swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Fontenot. 2 down in the inning. And ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Full count to Fontenot. Here's the 3-2 pitch. And ground ball towards the first baseman. First baseman will have it himself for out number 3. So we'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Saints lead it 4-0 on the St. Louis Catholic Sports Network.
Designated hitter number 12, Hunter Bertrand.
So bottom of the 6th. Saints lead it 4-0. And the first pitch misses high and inside. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Swung on and missed. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike from Gray. Here's the 1-1. Just misses outside, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Two-1 from Gray. Ground ball towards Fontenot. Fontenot has it. Throw to first. Will be in time for out number 1. So 1 down in the inning.
Now batting for the Cougars, center fielder number 10, Alex Haney.
First pitch from Gray is low and inside. It's low and outside. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Pitch misses high, and it's 2-0. Ground ball towards Fontenot. Over to first. And Johnson's able to get the high throw and get the out. So 2 down in the inning. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The overthrow.
At the plate for the Cougars, third baseman number 16, Peyton Landry.
An error on the throw, and the runner goes to second base. So it's 1 out, runner at second base now for St. Thomas More. Fontenot just threw it a little high, and Johnson couldn't come up with it. Curveball misses outside. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Breaking ball's in for a strike, and it's 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. Runner at second for St. Thomas More. And the 1-1 pitch misses low, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Foul to back, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes from Gray. If you're just joining us, we're in the bottom of the 6th. Saints lead it 4-0. Here's the 2-2, and it's lined back up the middle, and a base hit for St. Thomas More. And Logan Gray goes 5 1/3 innings without giving up a hit. And St. Thomas More gets a hit in the bottom of the 6th with 1 out. The first hit of the game for St. Thomas More. It's 1 out, and there'll be runners at first and third. And Coach Collins will head out to the mound to talk to Gray. Gray's at 91 pitches. Let's see if Coach Collins is going to make a pitching change here, as he was going to leave Gray out there as long as he had the no-hitter going. Gray's going to stay in the game. Coach just wanted to go out and just
At the plate for the Cougars, shortstop number 2, Braden Moore.
just tell the kid he's doing a good job even though he gave up the hit. St. Thomas More gets their first hit of the game. They'll have runners at first and third with 1 out. Saints lead it 4-0 here in the bottom of the 6th. Fly ball towards the right side. Johnston in foul territory just behind the base, and he'll grab it for out number 2.
Now batting, first baseman number 20, Alex Petra.
2 down, runners on the corners for St. Thomas More here in the bottom of the 6th. And line drive, and it'll fall for a base hit right under Nolan, and the run will score for St. Thomas More. So 2 hits in the inning. St. Thomas More gets 1, and it's 4-1 Saints with 2 down.
Over the bat for the Cougars, second baseman number 15, Jake Lampkin.
I'm talking real girl, Shaggy. I'm talking real like that.
2 down, runners on the corners for St. Thomas More. Saints still lead it 4-1 here in the bottom of the 6th. And the first pitch from Gray's in for a strike. And it's no balls and 1 strike. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And it's fouled off. It's no balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 0-2 pitch, misses high, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ball and 2 strikes from Gray. And a swing and a miss, and he strikes him out for the 3rd out of the inning. So Gray takes the no-hitter into the 6th, gives up 2 hits and a run. We'll go to the 7th inning. St. Louis leads it 4-1 on the St. Louis Catholic Sports Network. Kyle Goodo will lead off the top of the 7th for the Saints, leading it 4-1. And first pitch is a breaking ball. And for a strike, it's no balls and 1 strike. And Goodo fouls it back, and it's 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes to Goodo. And the pitch misses for a ball. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Goodo drives it back up the middle for a base hit. A leadoff base hit for Goodo. And that'll bring up center fielder Julian Gonzalez.
Now batting center fielder number 6, Julian Gonzalez.
Goodo's 3 for 4 in the game. So Gonzalez with nobody out, Goodo at first base. Gonzalez shows bunt, pulls it back, it misses outside. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Gonzalez showing bunt again, pulls back and swings at it and fouls it back. It's 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Gonzalez with Goodo at first and nobody out. We're in the top of the 7th. Saints lead it 4-1. One to Gonzalez. And Gonzalez fouls it off. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Gonzalez. Go first again. And Goodo is back. Pitch misses inside. Gets away from the catcher, but Goodo stays at first. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Gonzalez. There's the 2-2. Gonzalez drives one to deep right field. Right fielder going back. It's going to be off the wall. Gonzalez is going to head to second. Goodo's heading to third. And a stand-up double off the wall for Gonzalez.
Now batting first baseman number 29, Mark Johnston.
Gonzalez hit it off the wall between the 305 and the 325 sign. Or shall I say it bounced at the base of the wall. So now second and third for St. Louis and Mark Johnston with nobody out. First pitch to Johnston, misses low, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Here's the 1-0 to Johnston. Misses high and inside. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Two 0 to Johnston. Swing and a miss, and it's 2 balls and a strike. 4-1 here in the top of the 7th. Nobody out. Goodo at third, Gonzalez at second, and Mark Johnston at the plate. 2 balls and a strike to Johnston. Here's the pitch, and it's low and outside. It's 3-1. 3-1 to Johnston, and he'll have the green light here. Ground ball foul down the third base side. It's 3-2. Count goes full to Johnson with nobody out. Full count to Johnston. Here's the pitch. And a swing and a miss. And Johnston strikes out for out number 1. So 1 out in the inning, and that'll bring up right fielder David Nolan.
Now batting right fielder number 18, David Nolan.
Nolan shows bunt, bunts it down the third base line. Goodo's going to score on the suicide squeeze. And Saints have a 5-1 lead. A little base hit for Nolan. Run scores, makes it 5-1. Gonzalez advances to third, and that'll bring up Logan Gray with 1 out and runners on the corners. Gray shows bunt, bunts it down the first base line. Here comes Gonzalez. He'll score on the sacrifice bunt by Gray, and it's 6-1 St. Louis here in the top of the 7th. Nolan advances to second base. It's 2 down. And so 2 suicide squeezes in a row. Saints have scored 2 here in the top of the 7th inning and lead it 6-1. Pitch misses outside, gets away. Nolan heads down to third base. It's 1 ball and no strikes to Ehlers. And Ehlers swings and fouls it back. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the 1-1 to Ehlers. And the breaking ball's in for a strike. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. And swing and a miss. Ehlers strikes out. They throw down to first in time for out number 3. Saints pick up 2 runs here in the top of the 7th. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. It's 6-1 St. Louis on the St. Louis Catholic Sports Network.
We'll go to the bottom of the 7th.
So we'll go to the bottom of the 7th inning. New pitcher is David Nolan. Caesar goes to short. Fontenot moves over to second base. Goodo moves to left field, and Milligan takes over in right. First pitch from Nolan misses high. Line on Gray, 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 run, unearned, 2 walks, and 9 strikeouts. And Gray threw 97 pitches. 1-0 misses from Nolan. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Here's the 2-0 from Nolan. And it's in for a strike. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. And it's fouled off. It's 2-2. Two from Nolan. Breaking ball misses outside. It's 3-2. Here's the 3-2 pitch from Nolan. Grounded towards third. Gray has it. And over to first in time for out number 1. And I failed to mention earlier that Logan Gray had moved over to third base after pitching 6 innings.
Now batting for the Cougars, left fielder number 21, Rhett LaCombe.
So 1 down in the inning. And the first pitch from Nolan's in for a strike. It's no balls and 1 strike. Here's the 0-1. Misses low, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Saints lead it 6-1. And they'll say he went, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2 from Nolan. Breaking ball misses high, and it's 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on here in the bottom of the 7th. Saints leading it 6-1. And it's fouled back. It's 2-2. Here's the 2-2. And a curveball catches the outside corner for the strikeout, and out number 2. Saints are 1 out away from closing this one out.
And at the plate, catcher number 11, Brandon Longway.
Saints will be back on the air tomorrow for a 1 o'clock game, followed by a 7 o'clock game, both at Faubacher Field, south of Lafayette. Breaking ball misses high from Nolan. First game will take on Vermilion Catholic, followed by the 7 o'clock game against New Iberia. Ground ball towards Caesar at shortstop, and Caesar can't come up with it. And the error on Caesar gives St. Thomas More a runner at first base.
Now batting designated hitter number 12, Hunter Bertrand. Courtesy runner for the Cougars number 1, Royal Choir.
So 2 down, runner at first for St. Thomas More. First pitch misses outside. Gaskin does a good job of blocking it up. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Pitch misses inside. This one gets away from Gaskin, and the runner will head down to second base. It's 2 balls and no strikes from Nolan. Two down here in the bottom of the 7th. Saints lead at 6-1. Runner at second base for the Cougars. Off the handle towards Fontenot. Fontenot has it on the run, throws to first in time for out number 3, and that's your ball game. Saints end the 5-game losing streak with a 6-1 victory here over the St. Thomas More Cougars. Saints go 6 runs. 6 runs on 11 hits and 2 St. Thomas More errors. St. Thomas More 1 run on 2 hits and 1 error. Logan Gray picks up the win. Pitches 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, unearned, 2 walks, and 9 strikeouts. Weather permitting, we'll be back on the air tomorrow at 1 o'clock as the Saints will take on Vermilion Catholic, followed by a 7 o'clock game against New Iberia. Your final from St. Thomas More. St. Louis earns the victory. St. Louis 6 and St. Thomas More 1. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.